You're not stuck. You're just loyal to a version of yourself that's already dead. A version built out of fear, stitched together with silence, and held in place by people who only loved you when you were easy to control. Look at yourself. Really look. That tired smile. Those half-hearted dreams. That quiet anger you swallow every day just to keep the peace. That's not you. That's a mask. One they handed you a long time ago and told you to wear until you forgot your own face. And maybe you believed them. Maybe you thought if you were kind enough, patient enough, quiet enough, they'd finally see you. But they never did they? They saw a version of you they could use. A version they could bend, manipulate, dismiss. You became predictable, harmless, the person they only needed when they needed something. But let me tell you something dangerous. You don't owe them that version of you anymore. You don't owe anyone the watered-down version of yourself just because they're more comfortable with it. You feel that fire deep down. That voice that's been begging to be heard, screaming through your silence. That's the real you. And the only way to set that version free is to bury the one they tried to build in your place. Kill your old self. And when they realize you're gone, when they see what you've become, they'll feel it. Not like a slap. Like a slow, creeping ghost that never leaves them alone. A silence that haunts. You know what the old self really is? It's not some innocent version of you. It's not soft, or fragile, or pure. It's rotten. It's the voice that told you to stay quiet when you should have spoken up. It's the fear that kept you standing still when your soul was screaming to run. It's every compromise you made just to be accepted by people who never valued you in the first place. That version of you, it knows comfort. But comfort is a slow poison. It doesn't kill you all at once. It just makes you small, quiet, forgettable. And worst of all, they liked that version of you because it never pushed back. It never made them uncomfortable. It was polite, predictable, safe. You became the punchline in their private jokes. The backup plan when their real options didn't answer. You were the just in case. But here's the part they didn't plan for. That version of you was never built to last. It was already cracking, already crumbling. And every time they dismissed you, every time they pretended not to see your worth, they helped dig the grave. You think they'll miss that old version? Number. They won't. But they'll notice its absence. They'll feel the gap when the quiet you stops answering calls, stops showing up, stops making excuses for everyone else's behavior. They won't say it out loud, of course. They'll just stare at the space where you used to be and wonder why it suddenly feels so cold. There's a moment, and maybe you felt it, when the weight gets too heavy, when pretending doesn't work anymore, when you wake up one morning and ask, is this all there is? That's not weakness. That's the start of your awakening. See, change doesn't come wrapped in motivation. It comes when you're exhausted, not tired from lack of sleep, tired of yourself, tired of replaying the same mistakes, tired of giving your energy to people who don't return it, tired of hoping someone sees your value when they never even looked. This is where it starts. Not with some grand speech, not with fireworks, but with that quiet decision, the one you make when no one's watching. The one that says, I'm done. Done shrinking yourself. Done playing dumb to protect their ego. Done making yourself small so they can feel big. This is the shift. The split second you stop asking why they treated you like that and start asking why you let them. Because here's the truth. They only got away with what you allowed. They only stayed because you left the door wide open. So close it. Lock it. Burn the whole damn frame if you have to. You don't owe the old version of you a thing. You owe everything to the one that's about to rise. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because killing your old self isn't poetic. It's brutal, raw, messy. It means saying no when you're used to saying yes. It means deleting numbers that once felt like lifelines. It means sitting in silence when the urge to explain yourself kicks in, and letting that silence do the talking. You're not just changing your habits. You're cutting out pieces of yourself that once kept you alive, but now keep you stuck. And yeah, it's going to hurt. It'll feel like losing a friend, like mourning a version of you that held on through it all. But here's the thing. Survival isn't the goal anymore. Freedom is. You'll walk alone for a while. People will say you've changed. They'll whisper about how you've become cold, distant, different. Let them. What they're really saying is, you stopped being who we could manipulate. You stopped needing us. Good. That's the beginning of becoming untouchable. Because while they're busy mourning the puppet, you're out there becoming the puppeteer. While they wonder where the old you went, you're building something they can't access. This is the kill. Not out of revenge, but out of necessity. Because the only way to be reborn is to bury what can't come with you. They won't notice right away. At first, it'll just feel quiet. Like a noise they got used to suddenly disappeared. But over time, they'll feel it. They'll check their phones and see no message, no call, no apology, just silence. And that silence? That's the ghost of who you used to be. You see, they were never afraid of losing you. They were afraid of losing control over you. And now that control is gone, and it terrifies them. Because now, you're unpredictable. Now you're not showing up when they snap their fingers. Now they're forced to sit with the echo of all the times they took you for granted. They'll try to reach out, not because they care, but because they hate the empty space you left behind. Let them sit in it. Let them marinate in the absence of the version of you they thought would always be there. They'll replay the conversations, the moments. The last time you looked at them the same. They'll wonder where they lost you. They'll wonder if they can fix it. But they can't. Because you're not coming back. Not as the old you. That version is dead and buried. And in its place stands something colder, sharper, unshakable. Let that haunt them. Not your pain. Not your words. Your transformation. This is the part they never expected. Not the silence. Not the distance. But who you became when the dust settled. You're still you. Just not the version they remember. This one doesn't explain. Doesn't chase. Doesn't apologize for growing out of places you once called home. You walk different now. Not faster, just more certain. You speak less. But when you do, they listen. Because there's power in someone who has nothing to prove. You build new habits. You stop showing up where you're only tolerated. You stop waiting for closure from people who were never capable of giving it. And the best part? You don't even want revenge anymore. That old version of you, the one who begged to be seen, who gave love to people who didn't know what to do with it, is gone. Now you give that love to yourself. Now you pour it into your goals, your peace, your future. You stop needing them to recognize your worth. Because you've already decided it's non-negotiable. And they notice. Oh, they notice. But by the time they realize what they lost, you'll be too far gone for them to reach. This new version of you, it's not angry. It's not bitter. It's just unavailable. And that, more than anything, will echo in their heads forever. So now what? You've burned the bridges. You've buried the old skin. You've stood in the ashes of everything they tried to mold you into. Good. Now you build. Not a better version of what they wanted, but the version of you that was always waiting underneath all that noise. Unfiltered, unafraid, unapologetically real. You don't owe them a warning. You don't owe them an explanation. They had their chance, and they wasted it thinking you'd never walk away. Now, every step you take forward without them, that's the sound of their control shattering. That's the silence they'll never outrun. So when the guilt creeps in, and it will, remind yourself, you didn't abandon anyone. You simply chose yourself for once. And maybe that's what scares them most. That you finally realized you were always the one with the power. Let them sit with that. Let them wonder who you've become. Let them feel the ghost of the person they took for granted. 'Cause haunting isn't about revenge. It's about evolution. It's about becoming something so far beyond what they ever imagined that your absence says more than your presence ever did. So go. Don't just survive. Thrive. Don't just move on. Transform. Kill your old self and let that haunt them forever.